Moin sind Basketballfreunde, willkommen zu einer weiteren Folge von NBAK17 mit mir, dem Timo. Guten Tag auch. Ja, und heute spielen wir wieder Basketball. Ja, wir springen vor in die zweite Woche, wo ich mir was... Ja. Und zwar spielen wir heute gegen die... heute das Spiel Lakers gegen die Kings aus Sacramento. Kalifornien Derby. Normalerweise hätte ich jetzt nicht als jetzt hier gespielt, was nicht genug aufregend ist oder so. Also zumindest vorerst nicht. Aber weil es kein Derby zwischen den Lakers und den Clippers gibt, habe ich halt das jetzt hier als Derby genommen. Wird dann auch bei den Clippers gegen die Kings gespielt. Ja, ich würde sagen, damit fangen wir einfach an mit wir simulieren mal bis zum 30. Oktober. Genau, Moment. Set all games between the current date and the selected genau. Jo. Gut, da und dann. Okay, spielen wir das Spiel. Obwohl, Moment. Ich wollte noch was. Scouting. Nee. Genau, ich mag nochmal auf. Das ist angenommen. Jo. Genau, jetzt aber Playgame. Lakers gegen Kings. So, the Golden Warriors have into a dust rotation manually have CPU da. Always. Genau, wir spielen mit den Lakers am Anfang. Und nehmen als Uniform Away, dem Alternate. Das ist eines der wenigen Teams, das Gelb als Heimtrikot hat. Da gibt es hier immer jede Menge dolle Dinger. Weiß gegen Lila. Genau, los geht's. Ja, gut, das ist jetzt noch kurz so die Vor. Okay, los geht's.
The 2K Sports pregame show, sponsored by Kia.
Game 1 of the NBA season. A time of hope. A time of optimism.
There's that word again.
You know what? That was so... I don't know, it was so deep and it was so heartfelt the way I delivered it, I thought. I almost can't go on.
I'm just bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Oh, well, let's move on. Kenny's here. Shaq is here.
Right, are you a rabbit?
Moments away, it'll be the Sacramento Kings going up against the Los Angeles Lakers. And for Los Angeles, it's not an ideal situation for them, starting the season in a hostile environment on the road, but it's possible that will galvanize them and make them all that much more determined to get win number 1 right here, right now. And what a joy to behold opening night of a new NBA season. A fresh start for everybody, including us. Shaq, what are you looking forward to this year?
Well, some of the almost teams that couldn't get over the hump last year, I'm interested in to see if they've taken that next step. It's always interesting to see the young players and how they develop during the offseason. Were you partying or were you practicing?
Ooh, I like the party practice thing, the P or the P. But I'll tell you what, this is the time of optimism. Everyone says it's a fresh start at 0-0. We should all be in the mix, but that's not reality. But I like the optimism right now. Fantastic.
Yeah. Opening night, fresh start. Have you lost weight?
Yes, I have.
You look tremendous.
I really have. Thank you, Ernest.
Shaq, just a physical specimen. That's all I can say.
Was that a low blow, Ernie?
It was not, as a matter of fact. You look great. It's been, we had an off season, and here we are, and you look like you're in game shape.
Because I'm really optimistic about the question. Oh, you throw a big word, I throw a big word. Optimism, optimistic. It don't matter. It's still a big word.
That'll wrap it up as we take you courtside. Thank you so much for joining us. You do. You look great.
Yes, Ernie. I lost 2 pounds over the whole summer.
The dome of the California Capitol building lit up dramatically here at our broadcast location in Sacramento. Welcome, basketball fans. It's Halloween, and we've got a treat for you. It's the opening of the NBA season. Thanks for joining us here on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by Chris Webber and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. Battle in the Western Conference, the Sacramento crowd hoping to watch their Kings come out on
Das ist auch neu.
This is, of course, their first opportunity to play the Lakers. Last year was a lopsided affair as they were able to take all 4 games in the series, earning the sweep.
And they swept the season series against them last year. They really did have the upper hand.
Well, 2 words that feel awfully nice to say after one summer. Chris, opening night.
You're right, Kevin. I love it, baby. Time to show and prove. No more wait. Let's kick this ball right.
Yes. Good point. And it's the Kings to start out. And now the Lakers starting group. Dang out there with Julius Randle. And it's Young. And there's D'Angelo Russell. And it's Mozgov in its center. And D'Angelo Russell picks up the foul. That is his first foul of
Das
the
war voll
game.
mit Absicht.
Here is Tolliver. Here's Cousins. And Chris, the one thing
Shooting
with
foul.
Cousins is that he
Wette. Kurz angenommen. Jo.
is a very strong free throw shooter.
Wo waren
For
wir?
his career, Cousins shoots over 70%, which is a big plus for a center. He has increased how frequently he gets to the line, so he's seeing more and more free throws as well. Many defenders don't even have an answer for him, other than just a foul.
That one falls, so he hits both of them.
And Cousins is one of the
Bum,
best big men in the
bum,
league
bum.
who continues to get better over time.
The drive by Russell. It's tipped. Dang with it. Guarded now by Barnes. That one drops for him.
Oh,
And bullseye with
das war
that
gut
assist.
gespielt von
Nice delivery there
Lakers.
in traffic.
Here's Sacramento now. The pass to Temple. The dish to Cousins. Down low. Some nice ball movement here by the Kings. To the left side wing. Here's Tolliver. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
Oh, I love to see that
Das war ein
selfishness from House. It
Supersender.
really whips the ball over to the open man quick.
And Young kicks to Russell. Lets it go from 14. And the shot is long.
Well, nice. You have to love it. He worked very hard to get a great look at the bucket. Those are the shots you want him taking every time.
Temple to pass to Barnes. Outside Collison. Cousins dishes to Collison. Now the feed to Tolliver. Shot clock at 6. That's a 2 from Barnes. That one, no good. And it's the Lakers the other way.
And another disappointing season for the Kings last year. They fell out of the playoff
mich gewundert,
race
wenn der
early
nicht
on.
gegangen
They
wäre.
just couldn't keep pace with the rest of the conference.
Now we'll go to David Aldridge. Had a chance to talk with head coach Luke Walton. DA,
Yeah, Kevin, he's mindful of the fact that this is a shot-blocking team they're playing. And he doesn't want his team to be shot
Oh,
offensively. He said, if anything, we have to be patient and at the same time aggressive. If we can be deceptive in the way we attack, and there are ways to do that, we can score inside. We'll see if
Das
that
wäre
works,
jetzt eine
Kevin.
super
Terrific
Chance für die
defense.
Lakers
They put a
gewesen. Da war
lot
eine
of
Lücke.
thought into how they're going to match up against the opposing
Na
defense.
gut, so geht's
guys.
auch.
And so they should, because that's what it's going to take. This is such a tough D to break down. They're going to have to play a smart game offensively.
You're exactly right. This is a defense that can really rattle you, frustrate you. You have to just try to be efficient in your approach. Maintain the point. On the shorter side is a powerful.
Oh ja, das war auch wieder.
Are the great equalizer.
There's 1:38 left in the first.
Nur als Info, damit ihr euch wundert, warum
Hit
ich...
by Mozgov, and it's blocked.
Oh, the Ball geblockt.
And here we go. Cousins heading to the hoop. And then Cousins with the dunk.
Torwart von Lakers, was soll ich sagen? Ich habe die 14 oder 4 Minuten durchgestellt, dann... Weil
So timeout called
ist
here.
schon
The
dumm,
first
ist
for Los
schon ziemlich lang,
Angeles.
aber glaube ich.
And while the Kings were
kurz
improved last year, it
werden.
didn't seem like they made much headway towards their ultimate goal.
Ja.
Well, right now they seem to be lacking the
Equipment halt und so
direction
weiter
for
und
the team.
ich
There's
spiele
an
hier
air
auf
of
dem Computer
uncertainty
mit dem
about
Xbox
who they're gonna build
360
around.
Controller.
They will need to answer some hard questions in short time.
Weil
And you
hat
can tell they're
kein
just a little
Xbox
out
One.
of sync. I think he just
Ich
wants to
habe
get
mir
everybody
früher
back on the same
NBA
page.
2K
Yeah, trying to
12
find their
oder
rhythm. It's
13
a
war
chess
das,
match,
hatte
a
ich
constant
beim PC,
back
dann
and
hatte ich
forth
live,
of
dann
in-game
hatte ich es
adjustment.
vorgegeben auf Playstation, aber hier rein. Da hatte ich es und damals haben wir halt, habe ich mir halt einen 360-Controller gekauft, weil der damals mit Tuber, damals gab es die Xbox One noch nicht und ja. Warum soll ich mir jetzt einen Xbox One-Controller kaufen, wenn ich einen 360 habe? Nur Geld und damit, dass die es auch nur gut spielen, also.
It's a completely new group on the floor for the Kings. With this pause in the action, let's show you the teams that have scored the most points in the league last season. The Kings in third.
I just loved how this team attacked their opponents. You could see their confidence grow as the year went on, and the points really started to pile up.
Okay,
Clarkson
unser Team
kicks
ist
to
komplett
Black.
neu aufgestellt.
Back to Clarkson. Kufis grabs the miss.
Alter, das war...
Kings leading now by 4. Guys, a potent offense right now.
You know what, guys? And they're playing with a certain amount of assuredness
Oh,
in their
nein.
game. That type of confidence is what leads teams to having success. But that would have been lucky had it fallen. Poor shot selection.
Well, that's just not
Oh,
why take that shot
bam!
in that situation. You'll think better
Schon
of it
wieder ein
next time.
Slam Dunk.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
When he has the ball in his hands in transition, he always finishes strong, just like he did there.
So it's the Lakers now. The Kings getting the bucket. Goes up, throws down the breakaway jam.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony
Okay.
right there, if I can say so. It was really a
Na
case of
gut,
a
ein
great
Dreier für die
defensive
Lakers.
play triggering some instant offense.
Oh, well, that's because it was terrific anticipation. Also, the quick hands, a lethal combination.
And here's a flower. After Lou Williams was able to get the 3 to go. Caspi with the bucket.
And Caspi is just a nuisance to guard for many reasons, including his ability to get big down low and come away with the easy bucket.
Robinson passes to Clarkson. Here's Kufis, and he throws it down hard with one hand.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
But it's surprising, Kev, to see so little
Na gut.
urgency on the defensive side, especially with them losing this game right now.
And we reached the end of the first quarter. Kings ahead, up 9. Live from Golden One Center. You're watching 2K Sports. Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And for the Kings, guys, what jumps out to you stats-wise?
It's been about the pace. You can see they're going to try to keep this game in the open floor.
And they have the horses to do it. Once they can let loose out in the open, very difficult to match up with.
We've seen so much turnover, Chris, in the coaching ranks over the last year, over the last couple of years. And when you look at teams with these new coaches, where do you see a great fit? Where do you think you see a coach who can really help a situation now?
You know, I like Luke Walton with the Lakers. I think that they're going to struggle for years, and I think the fact that he has the perspective of championship, not only as a player, but as
Mein Gott, Dank. Und hier ist Slam-Cam.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
And how about the explosiveness he shows, going from the offensive to the defensive end?
Oh, das war.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Kia. Good stuff on that Kia Slam Cam. And the Kings making a change here. Collison's out there. Dishes to Cousins. And then Cousins with the dunk.
Oh, the body control of Cousins, knows how to get hit and still
Ja, das war mal wieder so klasse gespielt.
Lakers trail by 13. Pass to Day. Randall no good. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, we've seen DeMarcus Cousins become one of the elite big men in the NBA, dominant in the post and even adding the three-pointer to his game. But at times, his temper has overshadowed his talent. Cousins says he's now turned a corner, saying, "My mind has grown. I understand the league better. I understand the politics of it. Now I'm becoming the professional I need to be. It took time." Guys, he understands he now has to lead by example.
He wants to win, David. You know that. Thank you. And for a guy with a slight frame, Lou Williams can be one of the most aggressive players in the NBA, especially when driving to the basket.
And Kevin, I call it, he's a professional scorer.
Yes.
He can get streaky.
Oh, das war sowas von
So you have to stay
gut gespielt und der freut sich einfach gerade. Ich glaube, der Trainer, also ich, hätte es sich anders gewünscht. Die Lakers nehmen schon wieder ein Timeout.
Timeout called the Lakers.
Clearly, he's not pleased with all the looks they've given up on the inside, and also to get them to tighten up that defense.
And they may have to adjust the numbers, including whether this is the right lineup. And just look, now with Cousins, we see him becoming that player everyone hoped he would become when he entered the league. It's strange to think he was taken 5th overall in his draft, given his skill set. You would think a lot of GMs would want that do-over.
Garrett Temple is checked in for Sacramento. The Lakers also making some changes. Mozgov, he's checked in for Ingram. Young comes in for Williams. And D'Angelo Russell subbed in for Jordan Clarkson. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played so far. The drive by Russell. The quick look, no good that time.
Das war sowas von knapp.
And for Cousins, certainly he will end up being one of the best players in the league out of that 2010 draft.
He's one of the best big men in the game, and his skills on the court have never been questioned.
Ja, das war
his
gerade
antics on the court
gespielt.
have been, and that's what dropped his draft position. He can butt heads with his coach at times and doesn't hide any contention. This happened often enough in his career that he has to accept part of the blame for it.
And so it looks like the Lakers will retain possession here.
Ja,
A
den
chance
letzten
here to
Kopfball,
assess
das
what
war.
parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for Sacramento.
And they are going where the going is good for them right now. The painted area, high percentage,
Also,
and
das
high
war
volume
grad.
shots.
And we're about 2 minutes into the second quarter here. And the foul called on DeMarcus Cousins. That is his first foul of the game.
Ja, die haben sogar die Achselhaare animiert, Alter. Das habe ich auch noch nicht gesehen.
Russell against Collison. Knocked loose. Just 5 to shoot. And now Collison pushing it up. No one back to stop him. Drops in the breakaway layup.
Yeah, they're going to
Ja,
have
das war
a
gut.
nice little
Jetzt, wenn
run
man
here.
bei,
Lakers trail by 17.
wenn man jetzt nicht gekickt hätte, wäre das schon. Wäre
And here
die
in the
Autos
second
Block
quarter of
gegangen bei
action
den
with a hair
Lakers.
under 2.5 minutes played so far. And now the Kings fast break. Here's Cousins, unable to get that one. And it's the Lakers.
Na gut, das war gut verteidigt von den Lakers.
They've got the Jazz coming into town for the next game. That game is the first and last of their homestand.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
And the thing about Laker fans, I mean, they've always been used to their team being the favorite to win most nights. Lately, though, it's more about the excitement that their young players bring to the game.
Euch gefällt die Serie?
Future ahead.
Also dieses erste Mal, dass ich hier auf meinem Kanal ein Basketball-Let's Play bringe.
And that one's good. Russell's got
Fußball hatten wir schon
And
und
those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
Temple, and that one is hammered home.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty.
Das hatte ich auch noch nie geil,
And he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. And now the Kings, fast break. Barnes with the ball. And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact. So a free throw coming up. Great opportunity for a three-point play. And the Kings will go for a different look here. Kufis checked in for Cousins. Tolliver comes in for Cauley-Stein. And McLemore, he's checked in for Barnes. And Ty Lawson subbed in for Darren Collison. And then for the Lakers, Tariq Black comes in for Mozgov. Robinson is subbed in for Randall.
And how many extra possessions have they gotten because of that rebounding edge?
You can build a lead in a number of ways. Obviously, rebounding has been the backbone of their efforts all night.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
There's the pick. Poked away. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Out to the right wing. There's Russell with the three. Good for another basket for him. Number 4 today. He's 4 of 8.
Smart idea. Immediately shoots over the smaller defender before help can come.
Lawson dishes to Tolliver. The three. And released in time, but it's off the mark. So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. It's Sacramento as they end the second quarter with an energy burst, a 19-7 run. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Na gut,
Thanks, Kevin. Alongside Dave Yeager, Coach, how do you keep up the defensive pressure and slow down their offense?
You know, we got to just try to keep them in front of us and shoot jumpers, and then no second chances.
Rebounding is your team's strength. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaq and Kenny. And an exciting time of the year as one of the first games of the regular season is halfway through. It's Sacramento with the advantage at the half. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Kenny, let's go to you. Your opinion on their game so far.
Well, we can't look past the huge contribution their bench has provided. They've got this lead mainly because of the injection of energy and offense that they got from their reserves. That's what a coach wants to see. I'm guessing the minutes will be spread out a little bit in the second half.
Shaq, your take on the Lakers.
Well, they got a ton of issues to work out. Allow way too high a percentage to be shot against them. Not really showing any energy on defense. No discipline. Look at their faces, Ernie. Do they even want to be here?
And time now to send you back down to the floor with Kevin Harlan. We will see you after the game.
A nighttime glimpse of the Tower Bridge, one of the landmarks here in Sacramento. Welcome back, everyone, to the capital of California. And welcome back to the second half of our Halloween broadcast. You look at DeMarcus Cousins in this game, he has been everywhere.
And in terms of points in that first half, you know, he's now at a point where we expect him to perform that way.
Oh, yeah, he's crafty, very difficult to defend one-on-one. We may see more double teams roll his way the second half.
Ja, das war bemerkenswert.
Well, over the last couple years, we've seen teams emphasize ball movement and player movement. Chris, you like that trend?
You know what? I do like that trend. You know, from my days playing with the Kings, that was our style of play. The ball movement, get guys involved, make sure that you back up when you're overplayed by the defense, have some fun. I do like that style of play. Now, there are times for ISOs when you look at a guy like Melo or Durant, or you look at a guy like Curry or Thompson, or you look at a guy like LeBron or Uncle Drew. These guys, if they have the ball, I mean, get out the way. ISO ball is still, you know, there's 20 guys in this league that can have an ISO play call for them every time, because ISO also means I can beat my man, draw your man, and pass it to an open teammate. So I think ISO ball should not be taken for granted, but I think it's a big responsibility for a lot of players, and there's only a handful or about 3 or 4 handfuls of players in the NBA, in my opinion, that should be given the freedom to go to work on an ISO.
Great way to put it. Starting off the second half, here's Luke Walton's 5. We've got Dang. Mozgov is out there with Randall. Then there's Nick Young, and it's Russell in at the 1 spot.
Oh, and Collison really knows how to handle the offense. Very capable of setting the floor up with his passing. Now, what you have to like about Derek Collison is the fact that he gives you a little bit of everything from the point guard position. He can shoot it from deep. He can attack the basket depending on what the defender gives him. He acts as a true facilitator for the rest of the team when he's manning the point guard.
To the inside, and they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
Almost got to that shot in time. Just a split second late there. Caught it just barely on its way down.
Some changes for Sacramento. Caspi comes in for Anthony Tolliver. And it's a Flalo in for Garrett Temple. The Lakers also making some changes. Ingram, he's checked in for Dang. Williams comes in for Nick Young.
Oh, das war sowas von faul.
And Chris, with Collison, as you said, he is a jack of all trades as a floor general.
You know, a lot of it is that Collison knows what he can and can't do and plays within himself. Always plays to the tempo of the game.
Chris, in the NBA now, there are a great deal of power forwards who take bits and pieces of your game and add it to their own. But when you grew up, who did you model your game after?
Oh, wow. Well, growing up, I mean, it's very simple. You know, my favorite players are the players that I modeled my game after. You know, as a big fella, I wanted to be a ball handler, and so the best ball handler was Isaiah Thomas. I wanted to be a great passer, so I looked at Magic and Larry Bird for those areas. I wanted to score, and so I looked at Larry Bird and Dominique in those areas. You know, Hakeem Olajuwon, Charles Barkley. So, you know, that's the great part about basketball. You know, we see greats today, but they wouldn't be as great as they are if it was not for the generation that came before them. Why? Because you kind of know you have a bar that you want to set, and it's, you know, hard to know how much to challenge yourself until you see that bar. And so guys setting the bar, setting those expectations, setting those goals allows for guys to work on their game and get better. So, I mean, just thinking 20 years, what will guys be doing out there with the generation that we have now out there setting the table for them?
Well, great perspective. The first free throw is good. And after knee surgery in the summer of 2015, Mozgov's numbers fell off just a bit last season.
And you could tell that the Cavs weren't happy with his play. His per-minute numbers were actually not that far out of line with his career norms. But for a team gunning for a title, any slippage was cause for concern.
And Caspi kicks to Cousins, and Cousins throws it down.
When Cousins finds his comfort zone, it's incredibly hard for the defense to keep up with him.
Poke loose. And another fast break for Sacramento. And then Cousins with the dunk.
They just
Und der fällt sich halt ab.
everything they put up, it seems, goes in.
I mean, it's just been one of those days for them. It seems like all their shots are dropping for them.
And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Williams.
Now that appears to be lack of communication between those two. Just mistimed the pass altogether.
Some changes for Sacramento. Kufis checked in for Cousins. Then McLemore comes in for Barnes. And Ty Lawson subbed in for Darren Collison. And then for Los Angeles, Blacks checked in for Mozgov. And it's Thomas Robinson in for Julius Randle.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Passes it to Ingram. Back to Williams. Lets it go from deep. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
Ja, das war wieder gut von Lakers.
Williams has got 6.
So comfortable from distance, especially when no one runs him off of his spot.
And there's the foul. It's on Aaron Aflalo.
Tja, das war kein Foul.
Yeah, way to get
Haben die
there
sich der
first and
Tomaten
be
aufgenommen
willing
oder
to
was?
absorb the contact.
Das war kein Offense-Foul, beziehungsweise ich hatte und die Schiedsrichter haben eindeutig Tomaten.
Lawson against Clarkson. Feeds to Black. Knocks it loose. And that one good from Clarkson.
Ja gut, das war gut
Clarkson's got his first points of the game. And now we're 3 minutes into the third quarter of play. Kicks it to Casper. That is in there. Lawson with the assist.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
LA has gone 3 of 3 from three-point land here tonight. It's stolen by McLemore. And the dunk by McLemore.
Oh, you have to admire the intensity of McLemore sprinting towards the hoop and jamming it home with some real force.
Outside Williams. Pass to Black. He feeds it to Clarkson. Nobody near Williams. And it's off from three-point range.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And the precision lead pass by highly skilled playmakers.
Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Clarkson against Lawson. And the call will be against Ty Lawson. That is his first foul of the game. Nine seconds left in the third. Shoots from 14, and the Lakers with another miss. He gets it up, and he tries
yeah!
Let's see, they may need to review it. I'm not sure the ball is out of his hand in time. Well, we thought the third quarter was over, but it turns out the officials are going to review the play to see if he released the ball before the buzzer.
And the footage relayed to the officials from the replay center in Secaucus, I think he got it off in time. The replay leaving little doubt.
And they've taken a look at it, and they've overturned the call. They've overturned the call. They're calling the basket good, Greg.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I mean, to make sure the officials don't miss any calls, and really a good job to take the second look at it. Would have been a shame if they'd been cheated out of those points.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth.
Die Gesichter.
And for Sacramento, their shooting has been wild. 76%. That's just unbelievable. Lawson out there with Richardson. Then it's Ben McLemore. And there's Anthony Tolliver. And it's Cauley Stein in at the 5. So that's the 5 in the game for Sacramento. And that's out of bounds. The Lakers will retain possession. Here's Wirtz. Lawson defending. And the call will be against Ty Lawson. That's foul number 2 for him. Chris, you came up through college at Michigan, and in the NBA, you were an offensive force at all times at a lot of different positions. More times than not, always the first option. Is the mindset you need to have to be the lead guy in offense for a team different than if you're a contributor? Can you make the switch from contributor to lead guy?
You know, that's a good question. I think it's different for every player.
Da mache ich jetzt mal kurz, genau den da. Das ist ein Point Guard. Point Guard. Confirm.
For me, even later in my career when I couldn't contribute as much, I only still had the mentality of the lead contributor. So for me, I think the biggest thing is you need to know your skill set. And if you know who you are, if you know how you play, if you know how you can dominate what you can and can't do, then you're the best type of player. And for me, I think that's where I serve myself best. And so, you know, I wanted to be dominant in all type of ways. And so it was scoring, it was rebounding, and it was passing. And so if you have a bad night in one of those categories, you can still be dominant in those other areas. And so for me, you always want to have the attitude that you're the best competitor on the team, regardless of what your role is.
Yeah, great perspective. It's taken away by Collison. For the finish, hammers it home to polish off the break.
Collison has tremendous defensive chops. He really reads his man well and comes up with steals as a result.
Here's Wirtz. He's covered by Collison. Good on the shot.
Beautiful lead pass. The finisher never has to break stride.
And Sacramento has possession. He dishes it to Cauley Stein. He kicks it to Richardson. Cauley Stein passes to Collison. And he uses the glass on the layup.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
LA's gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. It's Young on the wing. And a miss there on the triple. The Kings have gotten all 3 of their shots to drop here in the fourth quarter. They came out of the break on a roll. Hits it from three-point range.
Smooth-looking catch-and-shoot jumper from Caspi. If the D is playing off of it, he loves making them look foolish.
Here's Wirtz. He's covered by Collison. Wirtz kicks to Black. It's getting harder and harder to become
an... Collison den... muss ich auch mal... Collinson, jo. Point Guard. Mehr Point Guards. Point. Gott, da hat er... Nee, dann lassen wir das. Nee.
NBA owner, franchise values are skyrocketing. The league, Chris, as you know, has set limits on how many minority owners a team can have. 25 per team is the number. They each have to own at least 1%.
Well, you know, there's only 30 of them, and the chance to make your impact on a franchise is just tremendously exciting. You know, we've seen in the past years where ownership groups could become very fragmented, so I definitely understand that train of thought.
Great perspective. Drains it from beyond the arc.
Well, you love seeing Cauley Stein rise up and try to get the shot off as soon as he keeps the pass. He's trying to keep the D guessing at times so they don't know what he's going to do.
The pass to Robinson. And stolen by Cauley Stein. Richardson kicks to Kufis. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
Shooting one. And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Kings.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
I mean, when you look at the stats, you'll see
okay,
just
gut,
how
dann
dominant
das Spiel nähert sich dem Ende.
For Darren Collison.
Well, for me, the X factor had to be those lightning quick hands of his. He spoiled so many possessions by coming away with the steal. You cannot underestimate how much of an effect that type of defense has.
And that solid play in the paint continues here, guys.
Now, here is Lawson.
Manchmal muss
Not
man
a
es
lot
auch
of room.
langsam angehen
Here's
lassen.
Caspi. And the shot no good, a bit short.
You know what? You just cannot get much better of a look than that one.
Oh, well, listen.
Oh, jetzt wieder austauschen. Okay, jetzt. Genau, der hat 4. Dann ist der besser.
Product of good, patient offense. Great shot there. Now look,
Nicht, dass er sich
this
nicht
plagued
aushaut,
the
der hat ja
Kings
noch
last year
Schuss,
and
aber
the season before. It was their inability to get stops on defense. They allowed the most points per game in 2016. At times, they showed no interest in defending the rim or getting a hand up.
The Kings making a switch here. Collison's out there. Paulie Stein dishes to Kufis. And he stuffs it on a pass to set him up.
And just a terrific job
Ja,
of
das
taking care of
das
business
ist
in front of the home fans.
Well, look, you always want to give your all for your home crowd, and so far, they have done just that.
And with the Kings and their defensive struggles, Chris, a lot of it
das war
comes
auch
from
schon
their
wieder.
inability to defend the three-pointer.
Well, they better have a different approach this season in that area of defense, that's for sure. When the effort is there, the Kings can be tough on D. It's a matter of committing to a scheme and following through. They have the talent.
35 seconds left in the fourth. Here's Caspi, and he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
I don't want to say they're trying to run up the score here, but they do keep adding to the lead.
Well, what are you asking? Maybe they should let up a little, right? This is just brutal to watch.
Stolen by
Ja,
Collison.
da.
Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
And the skill Collison has inside, so great at catching the D off guard when he's down in the post.
Where's this? Passes to Robinson. That's tipped. And now Collison pushing it up. No one back to stop him. The tray. Another three.
Ja, das war ein Dreier zum Abschluss.
There's a big difference in the field goal percentages between these two teams here.
Und da ist das Spiel
Oh,
auch.
they just look sharper out there
Kicks
compared
gewinnt.
to their opponents, and it's because
Überhaupt
of
nicht
how
eigentlich,
they're
aber na gut,
spreading the
ich
floor
hab
off.
gespielt.
So it's the Kings winning this one easily. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, DeMarcus. Congrats on the win. We know how intense you are on the floor, but it looked like tonight maybe you're having a little fun out there.
That's the thing. I'm just trying to come out here and have fun.
Das Mikrofon ist ja viel zu weit unten. Das kann doch gar nicht funktionieren. Also jetzt mal ernsthaft.
I'm gonna try to keep a smile on my face.
Well, it's a good look for you, man. Congrats again. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that about does it for the first game of the new NBA season. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time. But first, the post-game show with Ernie Johnson just a few aisles above us.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Hey everybody, Ernie Johnson, along with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, seen here. Welcome back for the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Darren Collison.
Man, he took his game to another level tonight. He wasn't hanging in the background. He was their alpha dog. And he got the crowd going wild.
Darren Collison doing a supreme job of running the show for them tonight. He had sprinter speed almost, and that speed was too much for them to handle. He was confident, and the team was in his control.
And that's it for tonight. But we've got a whole new NBA season ahead of us. For Shaquille O'Neal, for Kenny the Jet Smith, for Kevin Harlan, wherever he might be, and the entire 2K Sports crew. I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again very soon.
Und der Rechte ist verfressen. Na, vergessen. Ja. Das wär's dann für diese Folge von NBAK gewesen. Ich hoffe, das hat euch gefallen. Und bis zur nächsten Folge. Tschö mit Ö.